Hello everybody, how goes it? Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft with RabidSmore. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing fine. And if you can't already tell, I am using my new microphone now. And I wanted to thank everyone who gave feedback on my video that was comparing the two microphones between this one and the one I was using before, which was the headset mic. There was a lot of positive feedback about this microphone here, of which I agreed on. I think this one sounds a lot better than the other one does. It's just a lot cleaner and a lot more professional all around. And I went and bought a microphone stand for it and a pop filter. So now we have a lot cleaner sound for it and a lot better of a setup. It's actually kind of seems like I should be in a recording studio or something, since I have this nice microphone on a stand and a pop filter and everything sitting in the room. It kind of feels like the real deal kind of like recording sound studio or something. So pretty cool. So I wanted to again thank everyone for their feedback between comparing the two microphones, and everyone leaving good feedback onto which one that they thought was better and why, and some people recommending to get the pop filter, agreeing with me on that as well. So again, thanks to everyone on that. I do think it's a lot better, and I'm really glad that I made the switch between the two. It'll be a huge upgrade for me and for my channel. And as far as today's episode goes, I have a couple things that I want to get finished up here. I have some projects that I need to kind of touch up on and some projects that I want to start on. And speaking of, this is actually something that I want to work on today. I had someone point out, I don't know if it was in one of my Let's Play videos or if it was in the tutorial video for my cow farm here, but someone pointed out that sometimes when you breed the cows, they get kind of stuck in the adult chamber in here, so you kind of end up with way too many adults and not enough of the babies will go out. And it's kind of rare, but I did notice it also. And so I think what I need to do with it is make it kind of like my pig farm, if you've seen that tutorial, where there's a lot more water in the chamber. So it catches the babies as they spawn and pushes them down out here. So I'll probably be doing that later on in this episode. And something else I need to work on, I need to finish up our Enderman farm that we started in last episode. We kind of just got the rings or the dropping area for those guys set up, but didn't actually get the spawning platform set up, so I need to get that finished. And I want to finish up the visual part of our Nether train station, and after that, get started on our danger room project for the mountain base, which I'll describe when we get to that. Alright, so if you're already using this cow farm in your world, or if you're going to be, you might want to pay attention to what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of doing a quick fix here for what I was talking about earlier, where we kind of get the baby cows stuck in the bottom area here. So I just need to go around the outside, clear out some area, and change where our water is. And also change the blocks wherever any babies will be swimming to glass so that they don't accidentally drown in any areas there. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out our bottom blocks here. And luckily I don't have to worry about any of this washing down into any redstone or anything, since nothing else is really near here. And I want to place our water on these side corners right here. Hopefully I can grab the one that the cows are on there. Nope, I got milk. Alright, let me see if I can get the actual water. There we go. Okay. Don't need the milk. So, if I place blocks back here now, that should, let me get up on this block. That should make it so it pushes everything from the outside to the center, and it should push any babies around. Yeah, it looks like it's good now. So, next I want to block off these corners here, and then I just need to place glass over anywhere that the water will be running, because like I said, once the babies are swimming in here, they can suffocate as they go under these solid blocks, so I just need to replace these with a transparent block. And it's going to be a little harder for the ones right next to the cows without them escaping, I'm not sure. Oh, also right here, it looks like they're kind of glitching. Let's see if we can get this one here. Yep, we got that one just fine. Can I get here now? No? I push these cows out of the way. Not sure, I might have to end up doing quite a bit of work here just so I can push these cows out of the way and replace these blocks, but might have to do that off camera. But we need to replace all of these with glass around the outside and over this water as well, just like this. And that pretty much fixes the problem that I was having before, where they were getting stuck in there and then growing up into adults, and you just end up with a ton of adults in the center. This should make sure that the babies get pushed out to the outside and pushed down into the lava chamber here. Well, I'm just finishing up the spawning platform for our Enderman farm here, but you can already tell how good this farm is going to be by look at how many spawn rates are here, how fast the spawn rate is. You already have probably near the cap of mobs spawning up here, so it's really cool how easily you can build this thing, how you just need a giant platform. And it's so much easier than the old farms where we had to build up way high in the sky and build a bunch of sticky pistons that would push the Enderman down. Now we just need a platform, and we just draw them to the center. It's a lot easier, and we get these really good spawn rates by these guys. And I am wearing a pumpkin on my head, by the way. And I'm just finishing up my final corner here for the Enderman farm, or the spawning platform at least. And each of these corners is about 4 stacks of slabs, which, even though it seems like a lot of materials, is actually still probably the cheapest and easiest to build farm in the game. At least in my opinion. So, again, I'm really happy that we don't have to build the older style with the sticky pistons and stuff. And I'm really glad that someone found this way to build them, since it's so much easier and so much simpler, so much better on the resources, since you don't have to use a bunch of iron and stuff. You do have to build over the void still, which can kind of be a problem, but that's why I just empty my inventory so I don't have to worry about losing any important items or anything. Alright, well that was a lot harder than I thought it would be, but it is finished now. I actually had to end up getting a whole bunch of ender pearls and throwing them until I could get an endermite to spawn, since there's a chance, I think it's like a 5% chance of them to spawn every time you throw an ender pearl. So I had to throw a whole bunch of ender pearls and not die from the fall damage that you get from those ender pearls until I get an endermite. And then while the endermite was chasing me through all the endermen, I had to put a name tag on it and put it into a minecart so that I could push it into the center here. So it was definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be, but I did get it finished here. And I think as soon as I leave the line of sight of these endermen, they should start trying to attack the endermite here in the center, and they'll start falling into the center here. So I think as I start going down here, let me just start digging down. I know it's kind of weird when I turn off the HUD and everything. Yeah, there they go. So as soon as I left their line of sight, they start going after the endermite there in the center, and they start falling down into the center here. And of course, some of them are going to hit this cobblestone on the way down. But we can already see in the bottom there's a pretty good amount of endermen. So this will be a really good EXP farm for later on. But I'll have to set up an enchanting room and an anvil and everything here. Bring over a whole bunch of books and lapis for enchanting. And then later on we'll have a much better setup for this. But just for now, we have it all set up and finished. And this project is pretty much finished except for the enchanting room and everything. So pretty awesome. Oh no. Can I get out of here? Alright. That could have been bad. I could have accidentally hit one of those guys, and that would have just been game over. Alright. This thing's good to go. Alright, well, it's still a little bit of a work in progress, but I got a lot of work done to our train station here in the Nether. Just mostly aesthetic stuff, doing the visuals on the outside, putting a bunch of stairs around the edges, and I put a bunch of glass here. I used light blue glass. I think it looks pretty good, since it adds some color to our build here. I didn't really know which color to pick, so I just ended up going with light blue, and it ended up looking pretty good, so I'm not sure if I'll switch that out. And I replaced all the netherrack with quartz in here, put some covers over our in and out areas, and I did a little bit of a pattern here using the different types of quartz blocks, the pillars, and the other ones here. I think it turned out pretty nice. And I do like putting the windows all the way around, some on the front and on the sides, because it gets to show, it kind of opens it up and it gets to show the inside, so you can kind of see the inner workings. And I always think that's cool when people have redstone builds that you can see the insides of, because it's kind of like you can see the engine as it's working. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Not quite sure what I think just yet of this type of color. This light blue, when you use them as the panes, it ends up a lot brighter of a color than as these solid blocks. You can see these are a little darker. These are the same color though, they're still light blue. It's just that the panes are a lot brighter of a color, I guess. But yeah, not quite sure about that one yet, if I want to switch that color out. But overall, I think it looks pretty nice. For now, it's still a little bit of a work in progress, like I said, but we'll get that finished up later. But for now, I think it's a really good start. Alright, so I've gotten a bunch of work done on the Danger Room project for my mountain base here, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that, at least the starting of it, and explain what it is. But basically what it is a really dangerous obstacle course, and What I mean by that is my idea behind it is somewhere that I can go to practice fighting different types of mobs and practice moving around at high speeds and doing really hard jumps, and kind of the combination as well of moving around, doing difficult jumps, all while fighting mobs. So basically trying to make something that would make the really difficult situations in Minecraft be able to be practiced. So like I said, kind of a really difficult obstacle course or dangerous obstacle course where you can actually die and lose all of your items. So you can see here, I've actually put the obstacle course down in the mine shaft that we have here because I want to put it down low so I have plenty of space to work on it. And it kind of makes it look a little hidden, like it's somewhere that I don't want someone to find out about or accidentally stumble upon. And the idea is that you would come in here, and obviously I haven't really dressed it up, we still have stone here. But you would come in here and there would be this big door here that would open up for you. And you would go through, and then there would be another door to open up as well for two reasons, kind of to give that feeling of epicness as you walk in, or you kind of know you're going into something that's kind of a big deal as you're going through the two double doors here, and that you know there's something on the inside that you don't want out. So that's the other reason to have these, is to protect from having mobs come out, because I do want this to be filled with different types of mobs. I'll probably build a dark room spawning farm for NPCs where I can get them to funnel down in here. And so next we have this area here where you go down into the actual room, and there'll probably be an iron door here, like a one-way iron door. So you can only go one direction. Oh, that shouldn't be grown up. All right. But you can see this is the danger room, at least the basics of it. I built kind of a basic example to be able to show you guys my ideas behind it. But right now this is probably only about 1/5 the size of what I want it to be. And obviously it's a little dark, and I'm sorry for that, but I do want this to also have the kind of the mood of it being dangerous, because I don't want it to be too well lit once I have it built, because I do want there to be mobs in here. And I want it to be difficult to see the things. But again, this is about 1/5 the size of what I want it to be built eventually. And each of these tunnels here will keep going out into a different direction. And it's kind of like a labyrinth. And I want there to be different obstacles around like almost every corner. And I don't want them to be predictable either, so some of them will be hidden. But you can see things like we have dispensers on the walls here, and these would have perhaps either fire charges or arrows, like this one here I think has fire charges right now. Yeah. So as that goes across, and I would have these timed randomly so that I wouldn't be able to predict when they come, but they would shoot the fire charges out, which could obviously catch me on fire, or mobs like zombies could catch on fire and then they could catch me on fire. And like this example here is an area, I wouldn't have it built like this, but these would be in the wall with pistons behind them, and they would push out at a random time. So basically, as I would be running through trying to fight my way through the obstacle course, it would be possible that as I take a turn, this would just randomly close and I wouldn't be able to go this way anymore, and I might get trapped behind some mobs. And then another example I have here is just a difficult jump, at least in one direction. From this side it's a little easier, but from this side you have to jump exactly as you pass underneath this block, which can be pretty difficult. You can see there, I hit my head there, which made me fall into the pit. And I wouldn't have a pickaxe in this situation, I would only have a sword. So anywhere that I have a too tall pit, I would just fall into, and then the mobs would be able to chase me down into it and kill me. So there's obviously a lot of danger behind things like that. And another example here, I have arrows in this dispenser. And I could have these, again, set to random timers so that they would just be randomly shooting all the way around through the tunnels, and I would never be able to predict when they're coming for some more danger there. And I could also have that shoot through lava so that it would catch me on fire. And, oh, I think I just heard an arrow drop. Another one here is just a quick example of somewhere that would be somewhere that you would have to kind of think as you're going through it. Because again, these are two tall pits, so if you fell into them, the zombies would be able to come down and get you. And this one here is kind of just a way to block me from running through so that I can't just come sprinting through this area, but I have to actually move around and possibly get shot or stopped by a creeper. And the center area here is kind of an example of, I might have a couple of these throughout here because it basically stops an entire passage from being able to be used, or at least not easily. Because again, we have the pit that if we fall into, we're pretty much dead. And the only way across is either to do a really smooth jump at the diagonal here, or to jump across the area with the cactus, which is pretty difficult because you have to not only make the jump timed pretty well, but I think if you jump as you're getting hurt by a cactus, it basically stumbles you, so you actually can't make the jump. So I'll probably have a couple of these since they make it pretty difficult to get around. And another one here is a pit of lava, which, yes, I will have lava in this. Like I said, I'll probably only come in here with a decent sword and maybe some basic gear, things that I won't worry about losing. So I don't mind having some lava in here, and it adds a lot of danger to it, but this will probably be covered up. It won't have this pit here where I can see where this is at. It will be smooth stone. I'll have no idea it's there, and then, again, on a random timer, this will open up. It will pull down and move to the side, and I'll be able to fall into that. So again, I'll have to be always on the lookout for things like that as I hear pistons open up or as I see things move around. I'll always have to watch out for different things like that. And again, something like this that stops you from going through easily through a certain path and falls into a pit. Just a bunch of things like that. I think this will be a really fun project. It'll be really fun to build and really fun to just come down here and play around. Not only to practice, but also just for the fun of it, just getting to have all the dangers and everything. And another example here is TNT in water. Since it doesn't actually blow anything up if it's in the water, but it will damage the player, I could have something like this around corners, and I could even have it hidden underground. Since if it's underground, it again wouldn't blow up any blocks, but it would hurt me through the floor, so I could have those all throughout here as well on random timers. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse here. It's obviously a lot of work. I have a lot of digging out to do. Hopefully I'll have a better haste beacon eventually to be digging out a little faster. But it is quite a bit of work, and yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the start of that. I think that's going to be really fun, not only for me, but for you guys later on when I do world downloads or I release the actual file for my world. You guys can come in and check it out for yourself. But yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty awesome project. Alright, well, I think that about wraps it up for this episode here, guys. I think we got quite a bit done in our world here, and I'm pretty happy with how things turned out, and they'll lead into some really cool future episodes for our series here. But, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Whoop. Thanks for watching. Have an excellent day, and see you later.